Hello, this is Half-Life 390 back with the Solistream. Today we're doing the third video in my Redstone CPU showcase. In the previous video I showed you it performing addition and subtraction. Today I'm going to show you it do a sequence, work out a very simple sequence, and then after that a sort of not so simple sequence. Sequences are pretty cool because it's not just like a simple sum, it's a reoccurring thing that it'll keep working out. It has no limit until the number reaches over the maximum number that the CPU can carry, which is around 65,000. Okay, so we want to write to line 1 of code first of all. First thing we want to do is actually get the number 1 and save it into the A register, well, the user input A register, and then we're going to get the number 2 and save that into the user input 2 register, the U2 register. Now that we've done that, we can use those numbers with our program. The first thing we want to do is read from the U1 register, which is that, and we want to save the result into the A register. So we're just moving the number from U1 to A. The second line of code, we want to get the number from U2 and save it into B. On the third line of code, we want to add these two numbers together. So we want to read from both A and B registers. And the answer we want to save in the A register. And the fourth line of code will just be a branch back to the third line of code. And for branching, I haven't set it up with levers. As I said in the previous videos, I need to go into here and manually put the branch command in. I've worked out a way now I can do this without putting torches in and actually have levers, but can't be asked to start running wires back through here and everything. It's just not really any point. Okay, that's our program coded in. Now we can run it. So, here we go. Pulse the clock, doing line 1 of code. So that's getting the number from the U1 register and saving it into the A register. Next line of code, we're getting the number from the U2 register and saving it into the B register. And now the third line of code, we should be outputting the result, 2 plus 1, which is 3. And there we go. So now, when we go to line 4, we'll branch back to line 3, and we'll repeat the instruction. Right, so line 4 branches back to line 3. And the same thing will happen. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 2 3, 5. Repeat it again. 3, 5. 7. So what have we got? 3, 5, 7. We started with 1, 1, 3, 5, 7. It's the odd number sequence. It just counts up in odd numbers, plusing 2, the previous number every time. The first number is 1, we get the odd number sequence. Same can be done for the even number sequence. It's a very simple sequence, so it doesn't show that the CPU is extremely clever. All it's doing is plussing 2, so but it's alright just to show you. And the next sequence we're going to do is going to be a lot better. Well, better than that one anyway, because that increments by the same amount every time. I'm just going to quickly take us to line 7. Just quickly. The reason is, this program counter, there always has to be a line of code active. There always will be. Like, for instance, the third line of code is active. I press this, it'll branch to the 7th line, which is all the way down there. The light will come on. It decides to update. There you go, see? There always will be a line of code active, which means if we're writing, code will be activating whilst we're actually still coding in, which we don't want. So we're just going to put it to a line 7, because I know I'm not going to use the line 7. So now we need to reset all these by opening them. We didn't actually use the 4th. Now that's reset them to nothing, so we can code in a new sequence. It's saving whatever's here to them, but there's nothing here, so it's saving 0, which is ready for a new thing. So what we're going to do now, first of all, save 1 to register U1. Okay, only to 1. For our first line of code, we're going to save what was in the U1 register. So we want to read from the U1 register, which is that, and we want to save it to the A register and the B register. A and B register. So saving 1 to A and B register. In the second line of code, we want to read from the A and B register and save it in the A register. And those will be added together because the ALU is on 0, which means add. On our third line of code, we're going to once again output from the A and B register. This time we're going to save the result in the B register. And for our fourth line of code, I'm just going to branch back to the second line of code. Not the third, not the first, the second line of code. And that's our sequence coded in. Pretty sure that's all we need. Sorry for any background noise as well. There's stuff going on. Right, okay, so that's our 3 lines of code coded in. Now we can move on and actually do the sequence. So on our first line of code, we're saving the value 1 from the U1 register to the A register and the B register. On our second line of code, we're outputting the A register and the B register and saving it back in the A register. The answer of which is 1. For some reason. 1 sec. 1. It's strange. Should be outputting from the A register and the B register. Right, it seems 1 hasn't saved to that for some reason. Strange. Let me just check 1 second. Okay, so it's working now. I'm not sure what the problem was. Might have coded it in wrong or something, but I fixed it. Okay, so now let's move on to the third line of code. We're now saving the answer of 2 into the A register, into the B register. Well, we saved it into the A register, and now we're adding it together. And now we've got 3. 2 and 1 makes 3. Now on the fourth line of code, we branch back to the second line of code. And we just keep repeating this cycle of adding the 2 registers together and saving it A, and adding the 2 registers together and saving it in B. And here's our answer, 5. So we had 1, 1 at the start for our 2 registers, and we had 3, now we have 5. It's pause the clock again. Now we have 8. So 1 1 3 5 8. Have you guessed it by now? Do it one more time. 1 1 3 5 8. Sometimes it takes a while to update. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's the Fibonacci sequence, if you didn't know. And that's my CPU working out. It's a bit more of an advanced sequence than the odd number sequence, because it's not the same number being added up over and over again, just plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. It's adding up the number previously. And there we go, that's my CPU doing some sequences. The video's probably like 10 minutes long, like the last one, so I'm just going to stop it here. In the next video, I'm going to showcase the random number generator and sort out where that water's coming from. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.